All right, I've got one for y'all. It's a hardwood dowel. I just chucked up in the drill and sanded this side down. Yohawk made me this. I've shown it before, but it's like a 3/8 inch circle drilled out there. And then he used some chisels and made a square on this end. So we're gonna take our Gossman Tusker and we're gonna end up making a plug for this hand drill. See how that works. Take a little more out, so we're just making a mark where it's hitting the shoulders. Make sure that doesn't twist or spin on us. So that looks pretty good. And then we're gonna use this yucca and some cottonwood bark. So hopefully that helps me out, because I haven't done hand drill in a long time. And the last times I was doing it, it was with the assisted thumb loops. So we're gonna take that. We're gonna start with a new section. So we just want it flat, clean on the face that we're gonna make our notch. And with hand drill, you're not trying to get too deep a divot, because you don't want to just drill right through. So this is the most time-consuming portion, I would say. And it's over 100 degrees today out here. So what we'll do is use some wood ash for my hands, and that'll help with traction on the spindle. I sand these dowels down a little bit. Get a little tinder bundle going. And again, with hand drill, you're not going to make that much dust like you would with bow drill. So I want to make sure I have my tinder really processed down and all this stuff falling. That's good stuff. Then we want to add back without too much of the big stuff in the way. I think that'll be okay. All right, so we have our plug. We've made our notch or divot here rather, and then we've got this set up. So sitting, you're gonna have a harder time with getting enough pressure because you don't have your body over it. So you can also kneel, do like a high kneeling. You can use a board or something. And since we know what ashes do, we'll just do this over our tinder. So I've got good ashed hands now. Ashed everything, feet, everything. So I'm just gonna set this in a comfortable spot. And I'm just trying to get enough friction initially to get it to burn in. So I'm putting a downward pressure. And we're getting a little bit of twist out here. So one thing you can do, oh, I just broke Yohawk's coupler. I was forcing a little too hard, but we can fix that. You can put a little bit of ash in there. Let's see if we can keep this thing going. With the square, it's not going to twist from that little break. We're getting a little bit of shine. So we'll just cut that out, push some of that back in. There we go. So now we're getting some smoke. We're getting a burn in. So you can see where I split this dude in like 3 spots. So that's no bueno. Let me get a piece of leather. So we'll see if we can get this going. Keep all our dust. This is that cottonwood, so it cuts really nicely. But I am finding hand drill, you gotta stay on it because you lose all your calluses, and it's a definitely a different game. So we've got that, and I say since we have this here, what we can do is pull this and do a quick whip job here, which is normally what I would do on something like this to prevent any cracking out, because especially once you get going you want it to just work, and I tend to muscle things and then things break. So we don't want to add too much because I don't think it would matter with this, but I don't think it's too much weight to throw it off. But we're just going to wrap that, have that loop through, pull it back through itself, and then you can just cut the line. So pretty simple whip job. And now you've got artificial sinew holding that together. And then we could end up putting some glue or something in there to help it and retying that. But what we'll do is use some of our hard-earned ash and dust back in this notch. And what I had done, I started to get a real glossed over shine there. Now I've got that kind of burned in charcoal-y matte. So that's good. And then I'm just gonna make sure we don't have any shoulders showing. Make sure this is seated pretty good. Pin it. And then again, it's facing away from me, so I'm gonna lean a little bit more forward just to see what's happening in my notch. I'm trying to get full hands on here to get more revolutions, but we're starting to get dust up. You don't want to do what I just did and lose the heat. You definitely don't want to smash your gear out. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I got a little close. So now I have too big a notch. So I'm gonna have to angle this back towards my body. So I'm just gonna get this set. To where I can push this blade. So it looks like smoke coming out of the dust. So we're gonna hold in. Looks like we got an ember. Now we can remove. So pretty well glazed there now. This is held up now, so I'll probably whip this other end too. But that's pretty glazed. And that's just weak hands. Trying to get that downward force. I could have gone with more ash on my hands. But you can see my ember's a lot smaller than all these bow drill ones we've been doing. And this is where I was saying you want really good prep on your tinder bundle. So you've got that fine powder worked in. That was a lot of work and we don't want to lose it. Not out of the woods yet.